Welcome to Belfast Whale. I'm Jonathan Watson, and this is the Belfast Whale book review. So the first book we're going to be reviewing on the Belfast Whale book review is a book by Gareth Timmins, who I had on back in episode 37. Gareth's book, which came out at the end of August 2021, is Becoming the 0.1%, How to Build an Elite Mindset, 34 Lessons from the Diary of a Royal Marines Commando Recruit. The book basically itself is a fantastic book, and that's why this is the first book I'm going to be reviewing. I'm going to highly recommend it. The book itself isn't just a diary on someone who's joined the military or joined the army. It's a lot more than that. It does obviously feature kind of day-to-day life stuff, but there's a lot of deep lessons in it. And it's one of those rare books that in my time alive, reading different books, stuff like that really takes a good deep dive into the essence of mindset. And mindset is really, really important. What goes through your mind ultimately dictates where you're going to go in life. I mean, if you view yourself as a victim, if you have this victim mindset, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're going to fail, then you're going to fail by default. But if you have a mindset, what people would call a growth mindset, and you think, I can do it. If I do this, I could fail, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. Then that is ultimately going to get you through and allow you to overcome many obstacles throughout life. So Gareth's book really dives into that, and as I say, he covers 34 lessons throughout his time becoming a Royal Marine Commando Recruit. It also, the good thing about the book is it also gives you an insight into how tough, how hard it was. Some of the things that stood out from the book was the rat and dry routine. And basically, again, I recommend you look at the episode with Gareth. Gareth explains it pretty well because he went through it. But the rat and dry routine is basically the way the Royal Marines view it is you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, hide behind enemy lines. So you need to keep your one set of clothes constantly dry, because this pretty much is life and death. If those clothes get wet, and all your clothes are wet, and there's no more dry clothes, you might not have the opportunity to dry them out on a campfire, because the fire would obviously alert the enemy to your position. But also you could get hypothermia, and then obviously potentially then die. So it's essential that the recruits during their training learn how to keep these clothes dry. And Gareth goes through it. He says maybe you were on watch, so you were on first watch. You're in your wet clothes, same clothes you were in all day, marching in the rain, crawling in the mud, etc. And then maybe after an hour or so, you then have to change into your dry clothes, climb into your tent, get in your sleeping bag, and be nice and warm, sound asleep. And then maybe an hour or so later, back up again, take those dry clothes off, put the wet clothes you just took off maybe an hour or so ago back on, and continue. So you imagine, again, the psychological pressure you'd be under to just go, I'm done here, I want to quit. So the book kind of captures that pretty well, as well as some of the kind of what's going through his mind and kind of things. So there's a lot there that is relatable. You don't have to be interested in the military. You could be going through a degree. Maybe you went back to university as an adult, or you're going for university for the first time, or you're undertaking maybe a tryout for a sports team, and you have to go through so many weeks or whatever. The book really ties in with that. There's a lot of material in there that you can relate to, and a lot of lessons that you can take away and implement into your own life. I say there's 34 lessons. I did talk in the interview that I thought there was actually 35, which is basically obviously Gareth attained something that cannot be bought, cannot be ordered from Amazon and delivered the next day. I mean, what he went through and what he got from that training, what he ultimately became, is priceless, and he owns that. He'll take that to his grave. It can't be taken away from him. And I think that's probably one of the most important lessons, is that if you're working towards something like a goal, whether it's to become a brilliant personal trainer or a brilliant martial artist, or be the best business person, whatever your goal might be. When you attain that, that's something that cannot be bought. Basically, as I said, you can't go into Tesco's and order one up. You got that free hard graft, and it changes you for the better. And there's a lot of lessons that you've learned along the way, and I think that's pretty much the essence of the book. The 34 lessons go into 3 different things, and I'll touch on a few of them in a moment. So, well, the other great thing about the book as well is the audiobook. The audiobook, you probably go, what would you recommend the book? And now I had to get the audiobook. But yes, it's one of those rare occasions where I would say, if you're going to buy it, buy the book and buy the audiobook. If you've got an Amazon Audible account, then you can get on your free 1 month credit thing. Basically, another kind of give an example of this is if David Goggins' You Can't Hurt Me, his physical book and his audiobook both complement each other. In the audiobook, you got more, you got extra that wasn't included in the written version. And I feel the same thing is with Gareth's book. In the audio version, you'll have Gareth reading out the lessons and talking about the lessons that he learned along the way to become a Royal Marine Commando. But on top of that, they have an actor, a voice actor, portray the younger version himself. So there's like a younger guy speaking, and they both complement each other. And it kind of, the way I would describe it was, when I started listening to the book, I was on holiday, so I was out running most days. And when I was out running, it was almost like having somebody with you, and they were like a friend or something, talking about their experience to become a Royal Marine Commando. It sounds really weird, but that's the way it felt. It was a great, it was a kind of a great companion when you're out training or even driving in the car. It was like having somebody with you. That's the way it kind of came across. And the voice actor does a fantastic job. And forgive me, I can't remember his name. But the audiobook is fantastic. And then when Gareth comes on, you've got this kind of older, more kind of, if you ever see the Royal Marine ads, his voice would put you in mind of that kind of voice, or that kind of not loud and kind of like filling up or low and timid. It's just this quiet voice that kind of speaks with authority, and yeah, it's the whole recordings complement each other. So again, I recommend both books. And when I got to the end of the book, the physical book and the audiobook, I did feel kind of sad that was come to an end of it, because it was such a great piece of work. Gareth has hinted that this is the first of maybe a 2-parter or 3-parter series. So I think there's going to be a follow-up book coming out hopefully soon, and I actually hope that there is. So we're going to get into some of the lessons from the book. Again, there's 34 lessons in total. I'm going to go through 2 of them, but I do again recommend you watch the episode I did with Gareth back in episode 37, and also check out the book. So some of the lessons again in the book, they're fantastic, and there's a lot you can kind of take away from. We covered some in my original interview with Gareth, but I'm going to go through some here today just to give you kind of an idea of what's in it. So one of the first ones is lesson 1. This is on page 29 of the book, and it's managing your emotions by utilising the methods of compartmentalisation and mentally strategizing to ensure long-term success is essential to reduce anxiety, self-doubt, and overwhelming effects on emotions. Gareth goes into really great in depth on this, probably a lot better than I can do. But basically, the whole managing your emotions, especially compartmentalisation, is something that never really gets touched on. If you've got a goal, so basically, if you've got a goal like Gareth's, that could take 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 years to attain, it's very easy to start out all guns blazing, full of enthusiasm. I'm going to do this. There's no problem. Nothing's going to stop me. But then as time goes on, you get different setbacks, maybe different new shiny objects kind of appear on the horizon. It's very easy to get distracted and get off target and become disheartened. And then that wee voice in the head starts to kind of go, didn't I tell you it was going to take too long? why are you putting yourself through this? Why don't you quit? And we'll take the easy option or the easy road. So again, by breaking compartmentalization, as Gareth explained, was by breaking things down. So a long-term goal, like 10 years, obviously break down. So you maybe go, right, break this down into maybe quarters, 2.5 years or 2 years, whatever, and then break it down to a year, and then break that down again, 6 months, 3 months, month, then a week, and then the next day. So you just take one day at a time, and that's pretty much what Gareth did. When you read the book, the training he did was relentless. Pretty much the staff, the training staff, the coaching staff, their job was really to try and make them a recruit give up. If there's any doubt in your head, they want to find it, pull it out, and make you give up. And again, the training that he did sounds cruel, but you have to take the nature of their job. They're operating behind enemy lines. Sometimes help will not come, and the only help is the help they can give themselves. And if you're quitting all the time and you're used to quitting, used to getting it easy and all that, you're going to quit when it really matters. And obviously the result will be death, and people around you will die as well. Obviously, again, going back to my explanation, if you're on a long-term goal, building the business up, for example, and you kind of work out, like, well, this might take me 5 years to build this business up from scratch, could even take longer. You want to kind of go, yes, that's what I want to aim for, or I want to compartmentalize it down, and that way it's easier to manage as you progress. So you go, what do I need to do in week 1? So maybe come up with the name of the business. What is your business? So you need to figure it out. Do that. That's step 1. And step 2 is obviously, like, what way is this going to be? Is it going to be a physical business, like a shop, or is it going to be an online business? So do you need an online website, or do you need both? And then you just slowly build it up there. I'm probably not doing a good job of explaining compartmentalization, but it's pretty much long-term goal. Break it down into small components, and you go work your way through them. And that way, that goal that seems miles away in the distance is more manageable. You're taking bite-sized chunks. And one saying comes to mind, which is pretty good, is if you want to eat an elephant, you need to cut the elephant down into small components, or chop it into bits, and eat it one part at a time, as opposed to trying to eat the whole thing from one go. So the next lesson from Gareth's book I want to touch on is lesson 11, and this is on page 106. It's pretty much dealing with disappointment during large challenges, and how misfortune along the way is often not a predictor of success. It is merely an illusion. And I think it's a very good one. I mean, we live in a society, or I very much grew up in a society, that failure was seen as fail. If you fail at something, you're done. You're not good. Step aside. Make room for others to come in and have a go. And I think that's wrong. I don't agree with it. I think failure isn't fatal. I think you need to fail. You need to go through failure before you can figure out where to get to success. And Gareth's lesson, they had in the physical training part of the Royal Marines. You were in the gym. They were doing different kind of circuits, things like that. If they did I think from the book, they did a test, and in the test you got I think it was a red T-shirt or something like that, and this symbolised that you were the apex of the gym. You were in great physical shape. You were a good all-round athlete, almost like an Olympian athlete. You were at the peak of your performance, and this T-shirt recognised that. He won that, and then he ended up losing it in another session, and that obviously knocked him for 6. It kind of dampened his confidence, because the view that they had was, if you got this T-shirt, you're pretty much on your way to becoming a Royal Marine. It's pretty much, yeah, you're gonna have to go through all the rest of the trials like everybody else, but you're pretty much take a wink and a nod. Yeah, you're gonna be a Royal Marine. But in the book, as he explains, and he explains very well, a lot of the guys did get red T-shirts, ended up not completing the course. And some of the guys that weren't kind of viewed, or kind of like grey men throughout the training, ultimately then went on to become Royal Marines. And I think that's often the case. I mean, in my own experience, especially doing jiu-jitsu, I've seen a lot of people kind of come in, they pick up techniques really well, pick up things very fast. They're fantastic. Their mobility is brilliant. It just take to it like a duck to water. And very, very quickly, they're getting the white belt, they're getting 2 stripes, 4 stripes, then blue belt, 2 stripes, and so on. And I found like little kind of who blaze a trail through training, often not after blue belt, quit. They packed it in. Now, when I was coaching myself, I was seeing people who came in, and I've been teaching them technique, and they picked it so quickly. It was amazing. Just I showed it once and they had it, and basically they end up not staying the course. They get really good really quickly. And you often, if you're starting off something, or you're in a course, you're doing like a degree or a course, or you're wanting to get into a certain kind of a job and you're having to train for that, it can be very confidence sapping to see these people kind of come in and just pretty much smoke everyone. The coach, the teacher, or whatever, is amazed by them. Or, oh, this person's amazing. And you often find that these people kind of, they do wrong. Some of them do go on and go on to become amazing, whatever the course is, whether it's a degree, top level degree, or a job, become the best at that job. But you often find a lot of them don't stay the course. They get bored. They become disillusioned themselves, and end up they drop away. But it's the kind of people who are in the middle of the road. They're not great, but they're not bad either. Just by staying the course and putting the work in and just doing their best, you often find they're the ones that kind of go on to do really well. And I think that's the lesson kind of thing from this is, if you suffer disappointments along your way on your journey for wherever it is you want to go to, it's not the end. Those disappointments are all part and parcel of what you want to do. If you want to become a doctor, you want to become a top level martial artist, high level athlete, whatever discipline that could be, you're going to suffer disappointments. It's almost guaranteed. And those setbacks, those disappointments, those failures is all part of that journey. And I think you need to learn to deal with that, accept it, and realize that it's not the end, it's not fatal, and that if you keep reapplying yourself and don't give up, you can. There's no reason why you can't succeed and can't go on to do well. So in summary, Gareth Timmins' book, Becoming the 0-1%, How to Build an Elite Mindset, is a book I highly recommend. It's a fantastic book. Again, I've already touched on two of the lessons from the book. I do recommend that you buy it. And if you can, I recommend you buy the physical book and the audiobook, because they both complement each other in a really, really good way. You can listen to the audiobook and then you can dive into the book itself and reread the chapter that you listen to, and helps get you a better understanding of some of the lessons that they've learned. And again, the lessons that you touched on in the book are all applicable to anything, whatever you want to become, whatever you're doing in your life, whatever you want to become or go. The lessons in the book are all transferable over, and I think that's the thing I like about a lot of the military guys is there's a lot we can learn from them, and that's why I'm a big fan of Ant Middleton, and again that's why I had Gareth Timmins on, because when I seen the advertisement for his book, I thought right away I knew I want that guy on the show, because mindset is vital, and I think more than ever, rising depression rates going on in society, suicide rates are going up. Mindset, being able to understand your mindset, understand what's going through your head, your psychology, all that there, being able to master that and learn from others will take you so much further than anything, because you could have loads of money, the best degree, the best qualifications, get the best opportunities. If your mindset is not right, you're going to end up self-sabotaging, you're going to end up derailing yourself. And I think that's the missing formula, that's the missing thing not taught in schools, is your mindset. What is your mindset? How do you view yourself? How do you view challenges in life? And I think that it's just so important. So I hope you enjoyed this book review. I hope you did Gareth. Hopefully did the book justice, and hopefully Gareth's happy with this. because it was a fantastic book, and it was a pleasure just to sit here and do this review. There'll be another book review every so often. Just quite busy at the moment, so if I do review a book, I want to make sure I've completely read it. I want to make sure that I've completely understood it, so when I'm reviewing it, I'm doing the book justice. Guys, if you enjoyed this here, could I ask you please to like the video and hit the subscribe button, as it helps the channel grow, and it can produce more content for you to hopefully learn from and get a lot more from. Okay, thank you.